Spy Family has been an interesting change of pace, especially after being up to date with the manga. I still find myself truly enjoying it. And I'm sure it's the same for many others, and if you haven't seen it yet, you won't regret starting it. There is one thing about this show that really reached out to me, and that's the meaning of family and how seemingly a fake family happens to be the most genuine one I've ever seen. As your everyday average person, I find that many of us, myself included, wear a mask in front of different situations and people. And the same thing could be said about our families as a whole. Having to appeal to societal standards, looking good for other families and social circles, that sometimes our families put up a face of something that isn't really genuine. Although Spy Family is in your everyday family and in a completely different time period under a completely different scenario, it falls through and breaks down that idea quite perfectly. At first we see Lloyd only adopting Anya for the sake of his mission, a grander scheme to save lives and maybe even the world from war. But over time we see that he genuinely does care for Anya and regrets the fact that he has to use her for the sake of the mission. For the sake of Anya, both Lloyd and Yor are constantly driven by their true feelings and shown to break their professional act or face, pretty much ready to risk it all. And I feel like that it's a very real thing where our family may put up a face, but during tough times and hardship and watching other members struggle, that face can break down and we're left with trying to help each other genuinely. But what stands out to me is when Lloyd remembers that he's doing this in the first place because he doesn't want any child to go through what he did, Anya included. And we constantly see this being projected onto Anya, as Lloyd tries to be someone for Anya that wasn't there for him when he was a child, or acts in a certain way in which no one acted towards him as a child. And oftentimes I feel like a family is like this. A good parent tries to give their kids what they lacked or wish they had as a kid. I constantly hear from my parents about the things they had to go through when they were kids, and it makes sense. And then there is a dynamic between Lloyd and Yor, where we see Lloyd losing his cool from time to time and Yor helping him regain his composure and see things in a different light, reminding him of what's really important. It truly feels like an actual family. The fact that both Yor and Lloyd are seemingly on opposite sides of the war, yet without knowing this, they can get along and understand each other, with Anya being the bridge that connected the both of them. It's kind of symbolic that from the start, Anya has been constantly referenced to being the key to world peace as a joke, which makes that seem ever so more relevant. In the sense that she helps people understand each other better through her funky antiques and her own struggles. And if we are seeing this from a real family's perspective, sometimes parents are willing to set aside their differences to be the best versions of themselves for their child. The child is the key that bridges both, aka world peace. Watching this anime has been a nice breather and an emotional ride even with all the comedy. I find myself laughing and admittedly tearing up in some parts, whether it be relating or wishing I had a family like that. I feel like a lot of people can enjoy it for this very reason, as the idea of family can go past many cultural and generational boundaries and ideas. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, do leave a like and subscribe if you would want more anime or manga related content like this. Until next time.